Howdy, and welcome back to Someone Should Know. I'm your host, Lydia Schock. Welcome back, everybody, to Someone Should Know. Come on in. Come on, come all. Welcome. All are welcome here. This is the last episode of Someone Should Know as a 27-year-old host. We're going to do a little birthday edition episode for you today. I turned 28 on Tuesday, and I want to talk a little bit about birthdays and the milestone that is birthdays, and how sometimes it's really great and exciting, and sometimes it sucks ass, and it really just depends on the season of life that you're in. So we're going to be talking about birthdays today. But first, I want to share a little bit about what I'm doing right now, because I'm working on something super fun, and I want to share it a little bit with y'all. So this week, I'm attending the Podcast Movement 2025 conference. It's here in Dallas. And I'm just really excited to be embarking on this new adventure with this podcast, to be integrated with other creators and podcasters and producers and whatnot. And, to know other people in the podcast space other than, ChatGPT, because up until this point, ChatGPT and my husband have been the only two support systems that I've gotten in building this thing. So yeah, it's been so great going to this conference and meeting other creators and working with them. So I'm really excited about that. So follow along. All my social medias are at Lydia Schock. So follow along. I'll post some highlights from the conference this week and some of my takeaways over on my page. So go check that out. But I wanted to share a little bit about that because I'm really excited. And, y'all are here on the ground level of this podcast, you guys. I said in previous episodes, but I'm truly just learning as I go, a step-by-step basis, despite my delusional confidence. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm really excited to be, like I said, integrated with other creators and podcasters who, know what they're doing and can give feedback and insights. So I'm really excited for that and for this journey that we're on together. So 27, my last episode as a 27-year-old. 27 has been fun, honestly. 27 has been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. We're going to talk about some of those takeaways that I've taken away from this year, and some of the lessons. And not every year has been great, I feel really excited for 28. I feel ready for 28. I see a lot on the horizon, and I'm really looking forward to it. That has not always been the case, that's for sure. I feel excited for 28. I was excited for 27 as well, but I have not been excited for every birthday that's come around. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. But for 27, when I was walking into 27, I knew I wanted to cultivate a different year for myself than I had during my 26th year. Walking into 27, I was determined. Manifested, if you want to use that phrase. I manifested the year that I had. I was determined to have the year that I had. And that wasn't by accident. That was through intentional, actionable items that I could chip away at little by little. I knew that I wanted to grow in my creativity. I knew that I wanted to start something. I didn't know that it was going to be this, but I knew that 27 was calling to the creative side of me. And so when I was looking ahead to 27, I came up with a few things that I knew that I wanted to work on. Growth in the creative space was one of them. Another big one was my bravery. I wanted to work on being more brave and to put myself out there without fear of other people's opinions or comments or just the bullshit rhetoric that comes from the outside in. I wanted to be braver than that. I wanted to be bigger than that. And so those were a couple of the words that I used to anchor myself in 27. And I had another word. It wasn't specifically for 27. I really pulled this word as my word for 2025. Let me kind of explain real quick what I mean by word, right? I'm using a word. I find that there are certain checkpoints throughout the year where it's a good point to kind of reflect, look inward, reassess, manifest, if you will, find a determination, a destination, an effort that you want to kind of refocus your intentions on. And birthdays are a great time to do that. I love doing that around my birthday. Obviously, it's August, so my birthday is in August. And it was really great when I was in school because school started in August. So it was a great way for me to kind of have a post-summer check-in with myself before the school year started. And then, of course, New Year's is another great time to reassess, establish what you're looking for in your life, kind of put some intentions out there. So that was a great midway through the year checkpoint for me, through the school year, checkpoint for me. And as I've become an adult, I've kind of had to create my own checkpoints. So birthday is, again, a good one. New Year's is a good one. I also like breaking it out into quarters, Q1, Q2. Nothing sounds more corporate than saying Q1. For 2025, my word that I chose to focus on, instead of doing, New Year's resolutions or whatever, I like to pick a word instead. And my word for 2025 was love. And if there is something that I can use to summarize my 27th year, it has been filled with so much love. I am overwhelmed with the amount of love that I feel in my life right now and how happy I am. I'm so happy. I'm just purely unfiltered, unapologetically happy. And it's been such a long time, I think, since I can just truly say that. A couple years, I think, at least. Maybe college was maybe the last time where I was like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. It's so great. What environment voting was a good time too. Anyways. So yeah, 27 was filled with so much love. It wasn't without its hurdles and its challenges. However, I think because I had that intentional focus on love, on bravery, I always fell back to those things if things weren't going my way. For example, the fall of last year, the fall of my 27th year, was when I was diagnosed with PCOS. And that was really devastating for me. My husband and I want to have a family, and we'd been trying for many, many months. And to get that diagnosis, it really did. At the time, it felt like an infertility sentence to me. It wasn't, and I know that it's not, and I know there's hope for us. But at the time, in the moment, I was like, does this mean I'm never going to have kids? Does this mean we can never get pregnant? Is that what you're saying to me? And it was just truly devastating. And to this day, that was 10 months ago, and to this day, I could cry talking about it. But I was surrounded by so much love from my family, from my friends, from my amazing husband. I was just overwhelmed with love, and that was my camp right there. So shout out to you guys. You guys wrapped me in a blanket of warmth and love and carried me through that time. And coming into 2025 and the earlier parts of the year, and losing a dear friend of mine, somebody that I really cared about, and seeing how much love everybody had for her, and how deeply people cared about her. Incredible. And then to focus on this project, this podcast, and focusing on something that mattered to me and filled my cup with something that was important and that I loved, and had a kind of a focus on self-love. So my 27th year was filled with so much love from the people that I care about. So here we are, rolling into my 28th year, and I find myself reflecting and planning and manifesting my 28th year and what I want for that year. And as I'm kind of thinking on this and reminiscing and whatnot, and I'm reminded how beautiful it is to age. Aging is such a gift that is denied to so many. And now, as I'm older and I've worked really hard on myself and my life, I can approach birthdays with that air of gratitude, even if it's a birthday that maybe I'm not super excited to be embarking on. I can still approach that year with gratitude, with grace, with respect for growing old. And somebody's got to tell you, there are going to be times likely where you don't skip into the next year. There are going to be birthdays, likely, maybe not, more than likely though. You're going to have at least one birthday in your lifetime where you're like, this shit fucking sucks. It's like, sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it sucks. And sometimes I have not skipped merrily into the next year. Sometimes I have crawled. That's part of what is so fascinating about a healing journey. A journey of recovery of any type, really. But, there are some times where it's just the most random moments that get you. And they pull you back. The most random moments, the most random days where you wouldn't think that you feel a type of way, but it gets you. Your trauma, she comes knocking. And for me, that was my 26th birthday. That was one that I was not skipping merrily into 26. I crawled to 26. I don't know if scared is the right word. I wasn't scared to be 26. I don't know a better way to say this other than I was so acutely aware that I was 26 and that it had been 10 years since I didn't want to be here anymore. And so for my 26th year, it was a lot of reflecting, and I could not believe it had been 10 years since that time. And on that day, it's supposed to be a happy day, right? It's your birthday. You're supposed to be woo, let's go drinking, right? Or whatever. My heart was so heavy that day. Even thinking back on it now, I can just feel how heavy my soul felt. And I was so proud, while also at the same time grieving. I felt like I was grieving for my 16-year-old self and the hurt that she had to experience and the trauma, all the things. But I was so proud that it had been 10 years and all of the things that I had accomplished in those 10 years and how great I'm doing and how much progress I had made. But yeah, with that air of, I cannot believe we went through that. I cannot believe that even happened. And I've spoken about this in previous episodes of how I was, now, 27-year-old Lydia feels so far removed from that version of Lydia that it's hard for me to even comprehend that we went through that. And on my 26th birthday, that was a day where I fully comprehended. There was no gray area. There was no confusion. I fully comprehended what we went through. And it's just crazy. It's just so weird how 10 years later, on like a random day, my birthday was not a day that I had struggled with when I was 16. Like, I had always enjoyed my birthday. So like my actual date of birth was not a significant day in my hurt time, in my depressive time. It was not a significant day. But for whatever reason, when I turned 26 and I started putting all these, wires together, and I started getting this spark of, can you believe that? And so, just being in my feels on my 26th birthday, my husband, sweet baby, my sweet husband really tried to make sure that my mind wasn't thinking about that. He just wanted me to have a good day, just celebrating me and not worried about the past at all. Just having a good day together. And so he takes me downtown. We have lunch. We're sitting by the water. It's all good, all fun. And we're walking back to the car, and this lady walks up to us. It's like a random lady. And I can't even tell you exactly what this lady said because I don't know. I think I blacked out or something. But she comes up to us, and at first I think she's like, have you found our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, ma'am? So I think that's what she's going to say at first. And she does have some kind of, religious agenda, so to speak. And so she's telling us, about her Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and how she is like active in her church and all the things and whatever. And then randomly, at some point in the middle of her speech, she mentions that she knows many people who have died by suicide and that she has helped other people choose not to die by suicide, and starts just kind of going off about people ending their own life. And first of all, let's do a quick sidebar, which is, it is never, ever, 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 ever appropriate to bring something like that up to anybody. Literally ever, ever, ever. Some random person on the street. It's literally never, ever, ever, ever appropriate. So first of all, there's that point. God, bless her. But it was so inappropriate. And so if any of you guys out there listening have ever, started a conversation with somebody and just of your own free will decided to bring up suicide, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that. We don't know what people are going through, so maybe let's not do that. And this is why it's so important to have such good people in your life and around you, because of course my husband knew that I was already struggling that day, and then this random lady decides to, come up and inadvertently trigger me with her story of saviorism. And my sweet husband, pulls me close to him, wraps his arm around my hips and pulls me into him, kind of puts his hand out to that lady. Don't even really remember what he said, but he basically dismissed her and, shuffled me away from her. And, in that moment, I felt so protected. I felt so protected. I felt so loved. And I remember thinking, gosh, I would have never found him. I would have never, ever found him. So all that to say, no, sometimes you don't go skipping and jump roping into your next birthday. Sometimes you crawl into your next birthday, and that's okay. And so that was 26. Struggled a lot, actually the whole year of 26. I should have let the birthday be an indicator of how the year was going to go. So 26, struggled a little bit. 27, a lot of growth, a lot of growth, a lot of bravery, and so much love, so much love. And now, here I am, I'm walking into 28, and there are two key takeaways. My first takeaway is there will always be a piece of me that's 16. And I know that that's said of like, oh, you know, the age that you experience trauma at is the age that you are stuck at. And I guess that's kind of what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think that I'm stuck at 16 by any stretch of the imagination, but I think there's a piece of me that is. If I could go back and talk to that 16-year-old Lydia, even if I could only talk to her for 30 seconds, I would tell her how beautiful this life is. Not even just ours, but life in general. Life is so beautiful and it is so short. And the second key takeaway, birthdays are a gift. Growing old is a gift. To grow old with the people that you love and that love you back, it's even better. It's even better. But the journey is the prize. Living is the prize. And I have to say it again because like I hope that there's somebody out here that's listening to this that hears me say that and like keeps moving because like God, living is the prize. It is the prize. You being here on this earth, you being a human being living on this earth already was like winning the fucking lottery. It was already winning the lottery. And if I could just make you realize that every day you're here is another win of the lottery. Every day you're here with the people that you love and that love you back. Like that is the whole fucking point. That's the whole fucking point. Like, God, I wish people knew that. I wish people knew that. It's the whole goddamn point, you guys. Your life is the point. Your life is the point. Start romanticizing it. Start living it unapologetically for you every single day. You don't have to wait for your next birthday or for New Year's or for whatever milestone you're waiting for. You don't have to wait for it. It's a good checkpoint, sure, like I had mentioned, it's a good checkpoint to like check in with yourself and kind of reorient, kind of refocus, but you don't have to wait for that. Do it now. Do it now at noon on a Friday. Reorient your life. Choose to do it differently. You can choose today to do it differently. So if you're unhappy with your life, if you're unhappy with the way your life is going, fucking change it. Change it then. Because living is the whole point. Growing old is a gift. And I hope you don't take it for granted. I hope you don't. So when you're ready to start reorienting your life, romanticizing it, manifesting what you want, when you're ready for that, whether that's today, whether that's your birthday, New Year's, whatever, when you are ready, start with asking yourself, what is it that you want? Whether it's for your 28th year, what do you want? Whether it's for year 2026, what do you want? Whether it's for Q1, what do you want? That's where you start. What do you want? Your second question is, what do you need to do to get there? What obstacles are in your way? Is it you and your lack of self-discipline? Is that your obstacle? Is it time? Is it money? Is it the people in your circle? If your next year depended on one decision that you had to make today, what would it be? The honest truth is, your future is not waiting for your permission. It is waiting for your action. All right, you guys, that's it for today's episode of Someone Should Know. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you took something away from this, and I hope that you enter the next era of your life with grace and poise and pure gratitude for where you are and the fact that you even get a chance to be here doing the damn thing. Shout out to all of my Virgo babies as well. Virgo season is upon us, so y'all get ready. All the Virgos are out and loose. All right. Thank you again for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to follow along at Someone Should Know Podcast all over social media. You can follow me at Lydia Shock all over social media. Tune in next week for another episode of Someone Should Know, Friday, 10 a.m., wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you then. Bye, y'all.